Welcome into another American River College Athletics broadcast brought to you by Stones Radio Networks. Today we have
the ARC men's baseball team taking on Shasta.
And now with the play-by-play, I give you Mark the Phantom Lowe.
And good afternoon and welcome to Beaver Field on the campus of American River College, lovely Sacramento, California. It is American River College Athletics, American River College Baseball more specifically, against the visiting Shasta College Knights. Mark the Phantom Lowe here with my producer, engineer, cameraman, and everything else, Mr. Stones McCoy. And both teams taking the field today looking to find themselves after early season tough series. The Shasta Knights are 1-2. They took one against Consumnes River and dropped two, and in those 3 games they surrendered a total of 48 runs. They did score 24 runs, and they are 1-2. On the other side, American River in their opening series against West Valley had the close call on Saturday in the extra inning loss, but came out 0-3, dropping the final game on Tuesday. That was a 10-5 score in a game right here at Beaver Field. Connor Timmons making his second start of the season. He is on the mound for American River to face Alex Alvarez in the Shasta College Knights. Connor 0-1, 2 1/3 innings, 7 earned runs, 7 walks. That's what plagued him most of all in his opening outing against West Valley. On the other side, Alvarez pitched very well. He only pitched 2 innings in the opening game, gave up 6 earned runs, but actually 2 earned runs. He gave up 6 runs total. Just 2 of them were earned, and he was betrayed kind of by his fielders. The Knights have committed 13 errors in the first 3 games of the season, while the Beavers have committed 9. So both teams looking to clean that up here as we go on into the season, the long season. We are just in the beginning of February, and this thing goes all the way through until the middle of April for the regular season. So we're out here many, many times, and the teams are trying to find themselves as Timmons finishes up his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to go here. Usually you'd say it's a great day for baseball. It's actually a great day for snowboarding or bobsledding or tobogganing out here today, or alpine skiing perhaps, but we've got a very nice crowd out here checking out the game in not perfect weather conditions, and we are ready to go as Shea Bowen's going to lead us off. Jude Marquez and Drew Reynolds, the next 2 to come up for the Knights. Shea Bowen, the center fielder, is 4 for 12 so far on the season. He does have a home runs driven in, 7 runs on the season. He awaits Timmons' first pitch, which is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and we are underway. Shea Bowen from Tumwater, Washington, which I don't know where that is. I know where Washington is. That's hit high in the air left side, giving chases Blackwell, the third baseman, but it's out of play. But I'm not sure just exactly where Tumwater is. I'm sure we've got, hopefully, the Bowen clan up in Tumwater are tuning in today. 0-2 from Connor Timmons. That one is high for a ball, 1-2. Just want to say right off the bat that Stones and I are very heartened by the fact that we've gotten a lot of views over the first 2 games of the series, the West Valley series for American River, and we thank you all for watching. That one's chopped down to third to Blackwell. He stops it, picks it up. He's not going to have time to throw to first, and that will be an error. As we talked about that just a couple of seconds ago in the first play, is an error on the third baseman, and Bowen will reach. With nobody out, that'll bring up Jude Marquez. Jude, the shortstop, out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, which I do know where that is. And Marquez steps up here. Oh, and looks like Tumwater is just south of Olympia. I happened to pull that out of the air. Nobody showed me that on their phone or anything. First pitch is swung on and missed to Marquez, still looking for his first hit of the season. He is 0 for 7, does have 2 runs scored. So Bowen on first on the air. As I was saying, we've had really good numbers our first 2 games, and we thank you. We're going to have to really pick it up because one of our avowed fans, Ryland Druck's grandmother, is actually here today, so she can't watch. Oh, she can watch later. There's a throw back to first base as the runner bluffed, but the throw was a little bit too late. Aiden Imperial behind the plate for the Beavers today. He threw down to first base, not in time to get Bowen. So let's keep it going. Remember, the easiest thing to do is subscribe to the American River College Athletics YouTube. Then you get notified whenever we go live with an event, and that's going to be a lot of them in the next couple of weeks. That one gets away from the catcher, going back to the screen, and going down to second base is Shea Bowen. So he is at second base. 2 balls and 1 strike on Jude Marquez. So just go ahead and subscribe to the network, and then you'll get notified every time we go live, and we thank you for watching American River College Athletics on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Networks. You'll know Stones because his picture's plastered all over the place on the website. 2-1 to Jude Marquez. Drew Reynolds to follow. Marquez, a freshman. 6 foot 190. Here's Timmons looking back at second. Comes to the plate, 2-1 popped up right side, and it's going to be out of play. Aiden Imperial, as we said, behind the plate. Willie Tatum is over at first. The aforementioned Ryland Dreck is at second today. Darren Eels at short, and Julian Blackwell at third. Marcus Babada in left. Dominic Ott in center, and Wyatt Balke out in right field. Connor Timmons on the mound for the Beavers, and Coach Doug Jumele. 2-2 coming up from Connor Timmons. He checks the runner. Now he's going to go back to second base to Druck, and Druck very cleverly just knocks the runner off second base and then tags him, but the umpire says, no, you cannot do that, and lets him go back. But it wasn't Ryland's fault. He was actually going after the throw, but he used his massive body weight to knock the runner off. 5'8" freshman out of Roseville. Here's a 2-2. It's in there. Call strike three. Nice off-speed pitch. Perhaps a slider from Timmons, and he got his first strike out of Marquez. One out, and here is Drew Reynolds. Drew is 3 for 13, a 231 count over the first 3 games. 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. 6 foot, 215 pounds, a freshman from Chehalis, Washington. Steps in on the left side against the right-hander Connor Timmons. Stephen Nelson, the third baseman on deck, the cleanup hitter. Timmons still checking the runner at second base with 1 out. Now here's the pitch. Reynolds takes in there, call strike. Good location for Connor Timmons, right up under the hands of Drew Reynolds. Powerful left-handed hitter, as we said, already with 2 home runs. 0-1. Eels shadowing the runner at second base. Timmons checks on him. 0-1 pitch coming up to Reynolds. Takes a look at it. Calls strike on the outside corner. So good location by Connor Timmons. Remember, he walked 7 in 2 innings in his first outing. So he's working on that. Sophomore out of East Nicholas. Talking to Coach Jumele before the game, he was very encouraged by Connor, the way he threw the ball in his opening encounter. Here's the 0-2 to Reynolds. It's outside and high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Drew Reynolds. After Stephen Nelson, Keanu Matsuda bats 5th for the Knights. Giacomo Crescetti, the right fielder, hits 6th. Noah Weaver is at DH, batting 7th. Then Hayes Edens, the catcher, and A.J. Davies, the second baseman, rounds out the Knights' starting 9. 1-2 pitch coming up to Reynolds. That's chopped out toward first base slowly. Tatum's going to, he'll flip it over to Timmons, who slides off the base, but he actually did touch the base, and Reynolds is retired. Good play by the Beavers. That goes 3-1. Tatum to Timmons, 2 outs. Here is Stephen Nelson, the third baseman. Stephen 4 for 12 in the opening series with a couple of runs batted in. Out of Shingletown. Again, Shingletown. It's over by Shingletown. 6'2", 190. I wish one of these guys would be from like a real city. I mean, come on. Shingletown, Tumwater. Actually, these are better cities, you know. Chehalis, Washington. 1 ball, no strikes on Stephen Nelson. Foothill High School in Shingletown, or Shingletown adjacent. There's a pitch high. 1-1 on Nelson. Let's call that 2-0. The first one called the ball, as the umpire heard me say 1-1 and signals 2-0. To Nelson, a little bit outside and down low, 3-0. Keanu Masuda on deck, the left fielder. Nelson close stance from the right side against the right-hander. Timmons, 3-0 pitches down low, ball 4. So there's the first base on balls for the Knights received today. And here comes Keanu Mizuta. He is 2 for 10 so far in the season, does have a home run. Comes to us from Enterprise High School in Redding, California, home of Shasta College. Giacomo Crescetti, the number 6 hitter on deck. First and third, here's the pitch. Line drive, right past Willie Tatum into right field for a base hit. 1 run will score, picking it up in right field and getting it in quickly, but the runner at first, that is Nelson's going to make it over to third, and it's 1 hit and 1 run for the Shasta College Knights as Bowen crosses the plate. RBI single for Mazzuto, his 3rd run batted into the season, and he's given the Knights a 1-0 lead, and he is at first now. Over at third is Steven Nelson, and Willie Tatum almost made the flag on that. That ball was hit very hard past Willie on his right side. And that brings up Crissetti. 2 for 10 so far. There goes the runner. The throw by Imperial's going down. He's going to hold up, and the runner from third's going to score. So the double steal is effective from the Shasta way, and chasing him down is Tatum, and he makes the tag, and he is out. But the run does score. 2 runs, 1 hit, nobody left at the end of half inning at Shasta 2. The Beavers coming to bat.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and second in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete region's best athletes. Our diverse, dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and second in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse, dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletic journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and second in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse, dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletic journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Network.
Shasta scores 2 in their half of the first inning, and here come the American River College Beavers. Ryland Druck, Darren Eels, and Dominic Ott, the first 3 against the right-hander Alex Alvarez. Alex out of University Prep High School in Reading. We said 0-1 on the season. First pitch is bunted down left third base side by Dreck. Pitcher falls down. Dreck beats it out at first base. Nice play by the third baseman, Steven Nelson. He almost had Ryland Dreck at first base, but Ryland, a perfect bunt. And as we mentioned, the pitcher, Alvarez, slipped so he couldn't get off the mound. Nelson came in, made an excellent play, threw it over to first base, but Druck beats it out. And he is on with the first hit of the game for the Beavers. And here's Darren Eels. Darren 2 for 10 so far on the season. Has a run, has an RBI. The throw over to first base, and Druck is back. Alvarez at 6'2", 185. He is a sophomore out of Reading. Eels a right-handed hitter, and Dreck with the lead at first. Eels shows bunt, pulls it back. The throw down to first base, but Dreck is back easily. And I believe that was a ball. Yes, it was. Eels looks down at third base, gets the signs down there. I think that's Coach Jay manning the third base spot. Druck leads over at first and throw over there again, and Ryland is back with his grandmother watching intently. She's not even watching the batter; she's just watching watching Ryland. 1-0 pitch, hit high up in the air left field, and it is out of play over in the trees over there. And Eels will come back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Darren, a freshman out of Bear Creek High School down in Stockton, 6-footer. He's had a couple of hits, a run batted in so far in the early season 3-game series against the West Valley Vikings. Druck gets the lead over at first. 1-1 count on Eels. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt again and bunts it, but this one's back to the screen. Off-speed pitch from Alvarez, and Eels did not time it, so he bunted it right back to the screen. Dominic Ott will pick it up. He's the on-deck hitter. He's followed in the lineup by Jake Morrell, the DH. Wyatt Balke bats fifth today for the Beavers. Willie Tatum sixth, then Julian Blackwell, Aiden Imperial, and Marcus Babada. 1-2 pitch coming. No, go back over to first base, and Ryland Druck is back. 2 runs for the Knights in the top of the first on just 1 hit, 1 error, 1 walk, and a successful double steal for Shasta. 1-2 pitch. Eels pops it up left side again. That is also out of play. So we'll go at it again, 1-2. Beavers with their 10th error they've committed so far in the season. And that is a concern to Coach Jay. Again, still early in the season. A little bit chilly out there as well. Here's the 1-2 coming. There goes Druck, and it's inside. The throw to second base, and Druck goes in head first, and he is safe at second base. Eels takes that one inside, and Ryland got down there pretty quickly. The throw was on line, bounced a little bit before it got there, but even if it wouldn't have, he was in safely. So he's in scoring position, trying to cut into this lead that the Knights have. And Eels waits. Open stance from the right side against Alvarez. That one's hit well into right center field. Moving over the right fielder, Crissetti. He's calling for it. He's got it. Druck is going to tag. He's going to go all the way. Crissetti's throw just a little bit offline, and Druck slides in safely at third base. So a fly out by Eels, but a productive one as Druck makes his way over to third base. He's over there with less than 2 outs, as we say in baseball parlance. And here's Dominic Ott. Dominic just 2 for 13 so far, but does have 4 runs batted in. Beavers open their season with the series against West Valley. The Vikings showing a pretty impressive set of arms out there. Here's Dominic. First pitch to Dominic. He takes a slider outside. 3-2. 11-inning win on the second game was the closest the Beavers got. Here's Ott. He swings and misses a one that was a little outside, 1-1. Dominic with a home run this season. Does have, as we said, the 4 runs batted in. Looking to get another one here to make it 2-1 in the bottom of the first. Alvarez checks Druck over to third. Dominic pops it up, calling for it the shortstop Marquez. He's going to have it on the outfield grass. He's moving around underneath it. He falls down a little bit, but Ryland threatens from third, can't go anywhere as Marquez regains his footing and gets the ball in. So Ott pops up to shortstop, 2 outs, and here's Jake Morrell, the designated hitter. Jake 1 for 6 so far. That one was a base hit his last time up in the last game, so he's got good memories. Hopefully he can make it happen again here for the Beavers against Alex Alvarez. Jake, 6'4" freshman out of Whitney. Also pitched in the opening series. He's in the DH spot today. The left-hander waits. First pitch is outside for a ball. Behind the plate is Hayes Edens. At first base, Drew Reynolds. Second base is A.J. Davies, Jude Marquez, we mentioned at short, and Steven Nelson at third. Kenan Mutsada in left, Shea Bowen in center, and Giacomo Crissetti out in right for the Knights. Morrell takes high for a ball from the pitcher Alex Alvarez. So it's 2-0 on Jake. Wyatt Balke to follow. Druck still over at third base. 2 outs. 2-0 pitch. Morrell takes outside, ball 3. Good eye right there. 3 balls and no strikes on Jake. Had a couple of walks in the last game on Tuesday. That one is in there for a strike, 3-1. So he had a hit and a couple of walks in the 10-5 loss on Tuesday to the Vikings of West Valley. 3 balls, 1 strike. Druck leads from third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. Good eye by Jake Morrell. He's down at first base, first and third now, and it's up to Wyatt Balke, who's just 0 for 3 on the season. He's got the walk-up song of Beat It. Wyatt, a freshman, 6'5", out of Wood Creek. I don't remember who has the walk-up song of Bon Jovi, but I'll have to get that guy back in the lineup. Maybe that was Ryland. I just wasn't paying attention. First and third, here's the pitch. Balke swings and misses off-speed pitch 0-1. Druck led off the inning with a bunt single. Moved over, he stole second and then moved to third on a fly ball put out by Darren Eels. Ott popped up, Morrell with the walk, and now it's Wyatt Balky. That one a check swing, but it's in there for a strike 0-2. A slider again. Looked like that was the same one he swung at the first time, and he resolved not to swing at it the second time, but called a strike, and then quickly 0-2. That's a fastball that misses outside, 1-2 on Wyatt Balky. If he can keep it going, then Willie Tatum would follow, the first baseman. Druck at third, Morrell at first. 1-2 pitch coming to Wyatt Balky. No, they're going to go to first. Morrell slides back in head first. Balky steps out momentarily, steps back in, and awaits the 1-2 pitch. Morrell with a good lead at first base. The 1-2 pitch. It's chopped over the pitcher's head back to second base. They're going to flip it over to shortstop to Marquez, and that is the end of the inning. So the fielder's choice from Balky. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left at the end of 1. It's the Knights of Shasta 2 and the Beavers nothing.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Networks.
I'm sorry, I'm just in a little bit of a reverie after hearing the guy talk about Super Tacos for like 90 seconds. That's just fantastic. It sounds awesome. Super Tacos, go there, get one. Send one over here. We're at the press box at the American River College if you want to direct some Super Taco over here. But for right now, top of the second, Giacomo Crescetti, then Noah Weaver, and Hayes Edens, the first three against Connor Timmons. The Knights scoring twice with the benefit of just 1 hit, a walk, an error, and a double steal. First pitch coming to Crescetti. He pops it out of play to our right. Giacomo hitting at 200 so far. He's got 1 run batted in. He's out of Foothill High School in Palisadro. 6'2", 205. He is a sophomore. 0-1 pitch is hit out to the right of second base, moving over is Druck. Picks it up, throws to first. A little bit high, but Tatum pulls it in for the out. So Ryland Druck showing good range. Gets it over to Willie Tatum, who stretches to the top of that 6'3" to make the catch. 1 out, and here is Noah Weaver, the DH. Noah with just 2 official at-bats, a 6'2" sophomore out of University Prep High School in Reading. Right-handed hitter settles in against Connor Timmons. Timmons with the windup and the delivery is chopped right back to Timmons on a hop. He's going to run 3/4 of the way and do the underhand toss, which is, required by law. If you catch a grounder as a pitcher, you have to run at least 66% of the way over to first base before you throw it underhand. It worked this time for the Beavers. Not complaining about convention. Here's Hayes Edens, the catcher. 1 for 8 on the season for Hayes. Takes that one right down the middle for a strike. From Hudson, Colorado is Hayes Edens. And he swings and misses in an off-speed pitch in the dirt, 0-2. 5'11" sophomore. Weld Central High School in Hudson, Colorado. I instinctively like that place, Hudson, Colorado. I don't know why. Here's the, that's a breaking ball's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Edens. If he keeps it going, the number 9 hitter is A.J. Davies. He is on deck. That's a fastball right in there, called strike 3. Good inning for Connor Timmons. 1, 2, and 3 at the end of an inning and a half. It's the Knights 2 and the Beavers nothing.
I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it. I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed the job. Personally, the most rewarding part is about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, as not only people, foodies and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Networks.
Welcome back to Beaver Field, bottom of the second. Mark the Phantom Low here with Stones McCoy. We are Stones Radio Networks presenting American River College Athletics on the American River College Athletics YouTube page. Please go ahead and subscribe if you want to be notified whenever we go live with an event, which we're going to do many, many times now as the baseball and softball seasons are on us. But we will remind you that tomorrow night we will be over at Hutchinson Gym for a doubleheader as the women's and men's basketball teams here take on Diablo Valley in a very big conference game for both the men's and women's, as the women's team beat Diablo Valley last night in a makeup game, and so they are now 5-7 in conference play. Willie Tatum leads us off a swing and a miss against Alvarez. The men are at 6-6, so the stretch run, the last four conference games, very important for both teams trying to make it into that playoffs, or maybe just a play-in game to get into the actual playoffs, which would be great. Swing and a miss by Tatum, 0-2. Willie is 2 for 9 with 2 runs scored on the season. He's followed by Julian Blackwell and Aiden Imperial. So a lot of activity, a lot of Beavers sports activity going on, especially tomorrow. A lot of stuff happening as the baseball team is back here against Feather River, and the softball team has their first home doubleheader. That's at 10 and 12 over on the softball diamond. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Tatum is out. First out is recorded, and Julian Blackwell coming to the plate. Julian, a sophomore out of Eastside High in Antelope Valley, is 2 for 10 on the season, has a double to his credit, steps in here against Alex Alvarez.
Third baseman Julian Blackwell.
I think our next baseball game is a week from today. We are back here. I'll have to double check all my schedules. There's a bunt by Blackwell back to the screen. I can do that right now by looking on the back of this sheet right here. Well, I am so smart. Okay, so blah, do. Yep, next Thursday, Lassen College, which happens to be my anniversary. So nothing better than getting a win on my anniversary. That's hit sharply to the left of third, but Nelson picks it up, guns it across the diamond, and has him at first by a step. So Blackwell hit it solidly right at Steven Nelson at third base, 2 outs, and here's Aiden Imperial. Aiden, a freshman, also from Bear Creek High in Stockton, same as Darren Eels. He is making, I believe, his debut appearance on the season. Stepping in, the 5'11" freshman behind the plate. First pitch is a fastball, misses high and outside. 1-0 on Aiden Imperial. Number 9 hitter today, Marcus Babada, is waiting on deck if Aiden can start something here against Alex Alvarez. Takes that one and is also high, 2-0 on Imperial. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Knights lead this one 2-0. 2 runs they scored in the top of the first. Fastball catches the outside corner. Call that a strike, 2-1. And the Beavers up here in the press box did not agree with that call. Let's see what they think about that one. And that one is in there. I got the look. Okay, 2-2. All right, 2-2. When they don't say anything, you know it's a strike. So 2-2 on Aiden Imperial. Fastball just misses outside, ball 3. And the umpire makes that, it's outside to the right. You don't do that, ump. That's a very misleading gesture. is what I'm saying. 3-2 pitch coming to Aiden. Popped it up right side. Right center field coming on is Bowen, and Bowen goes in front. No, right fielder Cressetti comes in front of Bowen and makes the catch. So fly out for Imperial on the 3-2 pitch. 1-2-3 for the Beavers in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third. It's Shasta 2, American River nothing.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Top of the third, Knights lead this one 2-0. They will send up A.J. Davies. Then the top of the order, Shea Bowen and Jude Marquez against Connor Timmons, who's only given up the one hit through the first 2 innings. He's walked one. Victim of an error in the first inning that makes those runs unearned. And he will go out here again in the third inning. Went 2 1/3 in his first outing, so looking to get past that and throwing the ball well enough, it looks like he will, as A.J. Davies comes up to the plate. A.J. out of Carlsbad High in Carlsbad, California. He's a 6-foot sophomore second baseman, hitting 300, 3 for 10 on the season. Does have 4 runs batted in that opening series against Cosumnes River College, in which the Knights went 1-2. So it's right-hander against right-hander here as Davies takes high for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on A.J. Davies. Shea Bowen to follow. Second game of that series between the Hawks and the Knights went to, that one's right down the middle for a strike, went to Shasta 13-11. First game, 20-6 for the Cosumnes River. Last game, I'm going to say 19-5. 17-5, I believe. Let's double check that. Is 17-5. So a lot of runs scored in that game. As we mentioned, Shasta committing 13 errors in those 3 games. 2-1 pitch inside corner, call strike 2 on A.J. Davies. 2-2. Again, teams just getting started on a long schedule, so they're trying to get things together. Pitchers getting warmed up. Hitters trying to get their eye. 2-2 pitch. Davies hits one out towards second base. Druck moves over, knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first, and pulls the first baseman off the bag, and that's going to be an error on Ryland Druck at second base. Second error for the Beavers so far in 2 innings plus. Another base runner given up by Timmons that shouldn't be, and here's Shea Bowen, who reached on an error back in the first inning. Left-handed hitting center fielder, 4 for 13 on the season. Out of Tumwater, Washington. He is also a sophomore. A lot of sophomores on this Knights starting 9. As Davies leads off at first base. Bowen doesn't show bunt. He takes high for a ball. We got a little bit spoiled as West Valley was putting the ball down all the time in both of the games we saw. But Bowen takes that one high. It's 1 ball, no strikes on Shea Bowen. He has 7 runs batted in on the season. Here's the pitch. That is outside, gets away from Imperial, and going down to second is Davies. So an error and a pass ball, and he is down at second base with still nobody out. 2 ball, no strike count on Shea Bowen. Jude Marquez to follow. Timmons getting a sign from Imperial behind the plate. Couple of looks at second, and Davies comes to the plate, and it is outside for a ball. 3-0 on Shea Bowen. Baseball back in action tomorrow. I think it's a 2 o'clock first pitch against Feather River. Come on out and check that in person. We will not be broadcasting that one. Here comes the 3-0 from Timmons. High, ball 4. To none of those particularly close. Second walk given up by Connor Timmons. First and second now with nobody out. Let's see what Jude Marquez is doing. 0 for 8 on the season right now after striking out in the first inning. He does have a couple of runs scored. We're in number 9 out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. He is a 6-foot freshman. Slightly open stance from that right side as Blackwell comes in at third, and Tatum is ahead of the runner at first base in case of the possible sacrifice. He shows that the bunt is a beautiful bunt to the left of third base. Nice play by Blackwell to pick it up and throw it over to Tatum. Nicely placed bunt by Jude Marquez does the job, moves the runners to second and third. And that'll bring up Drew Reynolds, who grounded out his first time. He's 3 for 14 on the season, but 2 of those 3 are home runs, and he has 3 runs batted in, and a couple of guys in scoring position right now with his team already up 2-0 as we sit in the top of the third inning here from Beaver Field. Reynolds out of Chehalis, Washington. First pitch just misses outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. W.F. West High School in Chehalis, Washington for the... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong guy. No, I was right. I was looking at the other guy. It looks like Gabe Smitherman also went there. So they were recruiting in Chehalis, Washington very vigorously at Shasta. 1-0 pitch high in the air, right field. Balky's coming in. White has a strong arm. He's got to wait for it to come down. It does eventually. His throw is going to be cut off by Willie Tatum, and it's a sacrifice fly for Drew Reynolds. Not much he could really do with that one. And moving over to third is Bowen. Not much that Balky could do. He had to wait for it to come down, and it took a long time to come down. And Reynolds has his 4th run batted into the season. And here's Steven Nelson. 3-0 now in favor of the Knights. Nelson got a base on balls back in the first inning. That one's high for a ball, 1-0. Three runs on 1 hit and 2 Beaver errors. That's how Shasta's gone out to this 3-0 lead. That's a little breaking ball, but that stayed high as well. 2-0 on Nelson. Connor Timmons throws the ball back in, and like that one, wants another one. Keanu Mizuta is on deck. That one's hit sharply to the left of shortstop into center field for a base hit. RBI single for Steven Nelson, 2nd hit of the game for the Knights. Scoring is Bowen, and Nelson is down at first base with 2 outs, bringing up Keanu Mizuta. He's lined a sharp single to right field his first time up, got an RBI on the play, so he is 1 for 1. That makes him 3 for 11. That was his 3rd run batted in the season. He does have a home run as well. Left-handed hitting left fielder. That one gets away, and it's going down to second base as Nelson. He's going to aggressively round second base, but he'll stay there. So Nelson now in scoring position for Mizuta. Out of Enterprise High School up in Reading. A freshman. Sophomore. Let's make that a sophomore. 6'2". 1-0 coming from Timmons. Down low for a ball. Good block by Imperial, but it's 2-0 on Mizuta. Giacomo Crescetti to follow. 4-0 top of the third. That's a fastball. Caught the inside corner. Called strike 2-1 on Keanu Mizuta. Left-hand hitting left fielder against the right-hander, Connor Timmons. Taking his time getting the sign. Now checks Nelson out at second base. That's a line drive over the second baseman's head into right center field for a base hit. Mizuta second. Here comes runner. He will score. Ball is not picked up in right field by Balky. The throw in Mizuta to tag him out, and the ball gets away at second, and Mizuta is safe. So it's an RBI single, his second RBI of the game. Nelson scores, and Mizuta makes it to second base on the air. That's another error for the Beavers. 5-0. Second hit of the inning. And here is Giacomo Crissetti, who grounded out to second base his first time up. That was back in the second inning.
For 34 right fielder Giacomo Crissetti.
Crissetti with the run batted in, 200 on the season coming in, so 2 for 11 right now. First pitch is popped up right side. That'll go out of play. 0-1 on Crissetti. From Palisadro High, or Foothill High up in Palisadro. 6'2" sophomore. Playing out in right field today for the Knights. That's chopped down to third to Blackwell. He's got it. Take his time across the diamond. A big hop to Tatum, and he has him at first base. So third out recorded 5-3. 3 runs, 2 hits, and 1 left at the end of 2.5. It's Shasta 5, American River nothing.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here. Large portions of quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. Giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here. Large portions of quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. Giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here. Large portions of quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kinds of tacos. Giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you.
Now, back with the play-by-play right here on Stones Radio Networks.
9-1-2 for the Beavers here in the bottom of the third against Alex Alvarez, Marcus Bravada, Ryland Druck, and Darren Eels, as the Beavers looking up at a 5-0 deficit. And Bravada is 2 for 10 with a run batted in, playing out in left field today. Marcus out of St. Mary's High in Stockton, a 6'2" freshman, takes a strike, I think, as the umpire pointed to where the ball was and then made the strike call. So he was really emphatically telling us why it was a strike. That's chopped back up the middle off the glove of the pitcher. Here comes the second baseman into barehanded. Can't do so, so Bravada is going to have himself an infield single. Second hit of the game for the Beavers. A.J. Davis came in and tried to play that the only way he could. Even if he did handle it, he was running the wrong way, so it was going to be tough to get. And here's Ryland Druck, who had a bunt single his first time up, so he is 1 for 1, 1 for 6 on the season. And the second baseman, Steven Nelson, moves in at third. Now he moves a little bit back. Now he moves back in. He was fooling me. Druck bunts that one, but it was inside, and he bunted it back to the screen. So Nelson playing the old, I'm going backwards. No, I'm going forwards. And didn't matter because Druck couldn't get the bunt down that time. Bravada over at first base, 0-1 on Ryland. He hits a pop-up on the infield. Catcher's going to call for it in foul territory and make the play. That is Hayes Edens. So Druck is retired for the first out of the inning. And here's Darren Eels, who flied to right his first time up. 2 for 11 on the season is Darren. Freshman shortstop out of Bear Creek High in Stockton. Comes up here with a runner on first and 1 out. That runner is Marcus Bravada. Short lead over there. Comes to the plate right down the middle for a call strike. Then to a point at that one. Even I could tell that was a strike. 0-1. Dominic Ott to follow as the Beavers try to chop into this 5-0 deficit. Throw over to first base, and getting back is Bravada quite easily, although he did go head first. There's the one guy in the world. There's always one guy. Everybody knows one guy who always wears shorts. And we've got a guy just like that down there. That's hit well to left field by Eels. Going back is Mazzato. He is still going back, reaches up and makes a fine running catch. Pretty close to that 370-foot sign out there. And coming all the way back to first base is Babada. But Darren Eels put a charge in that one. Retired by a nice running catch by Mazzato. And that'll bring up Dominic Ott.
Number 16, center fielder.
So Keanu out there in left field never lost track of that one, tracked it all the way. Had to go back about, I'll say about 30 or 40 feet to make the catch, and he did. And here's Dominic Ott. Two outs in the third inning. And Ott steps in, popped up to shortstop his first time up. Takes that one outside for a ball, 1-0 to Dominic Ott. Sophomore out of Wood Creek, out in center field for the Beavers. Straight up stance from the right side, not really close to the plate. Swings and misses at a high fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike, actually fouled it into the catcher's glove. Hayes Eden's holding on to it. 1 ball and 1 strike. That one's hit into left field. Moving over is Mizuta, and he's not going to get it. It gets down. Coming all the way around to third is Babada, and it's a double for Dominic Ott. He put that one down the left field line into the blind spot, and he moves Babada over to third base. It's Dominic's 3rd hit of the season. Now it's 2nd and 3rd for the Beavers, and here is Jake Morrell. The designated hitter walked his first time up. Coming up here to get the Beavers right back in this one with 1 swing of the bat. The big left-handed hitting DH out of Whitney High. Takes outside for a ball. Showing a pretty good eye, pretty good appreciation for the strike zone here. A couple of walks in the last game and walked his first time today. Wyatt Balky to follow for AR. So Ott's double puts him at second. Babada over at third. 1-0 pitch is down low for a ball. 2-0 on Jake Morrell. 3rd hit of the game was Dominic's double. First one that left the infield. So Morrell ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Check swing. Did he go around? I think he did. Yes, he did. Asking the base umpire. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Jake Morrell. Alvarez working his 3rd inning to pitch. Hit sharply to right of first base, into right field for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the second one, Dominic Ott. He will score easily, and that is a 2-run single for Jake Morrell, and all of a sudden it's a 5-2 ball game in favor of Shasta. Morrell, his first 2 runs batted into the season. Clutch hit for the Beavers, the 3rd hit of the inning. It is now 5-2, and here's Wyatt Balky, and hit the ball solidly, but hit in a perfect spot between first and second. And Ott easily scoring from second, following Babada in there. And Morrell's at first. Wyatt Balky swings and fouls that one off. Wyatt hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Grounder out to second base. It was flipped over to second for a force. Morrell leading at first. Alvarez delivers. Balky watches, and that one's called strike 2. 0-2 on Wyatt Balky. Willie Tatum to follow. 4 hits, 3 in this inning for the Beavers. They trail it 5-2. Fastball just misses the outside corner, 1-2 on Wyatt Balky. Wyatt, 6'5", the freshman out of Wood Creek, a pitcher and an outfielder. He is playing out in right field today. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch. Ball gets away from the catcher. He tries to tag Wyatt, but has to throw it down to first, so he strikes him out. So 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 left at the end of 3. It is Shasta 5 and American River 2. And here is Stones McCoy.
So we just wanted to throw back the crab feed. Remember, we talked about that earlier.
Of course,
and,
you're right. Of
I
course.
think somebody just forgot what they were doing, but we just want to remind everybody that Saturday, February 18th, is the American River Athletics crab feed from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the ARC Student Center. So right now on your screen is the flyer that is out for that. And if you're interested or would love to be a part of it, please take out your phone right now. Scan that QR code that you're seeing on your screen, and you pick up your tickets right away. So $7, I believe, is the ticket price. arcbeavers.com/fans/buy_tickets_online if you don't have that phone. Just want to invite everybody out to the tremendous crab feed that we're going to be having here at the ARC Athletics Center on February 18th.
And all proceeds from that, or like 99.846%, goes to support the ARC student athletes that you see out here playing on the YouTube. Baseball, water polo, volleyball, football, soccer. We do it all, and they do it all, and they got to fund it from somewhere. And thanks for your help. And do what Stones just said, and I'll bring him back later in the game to do it again because I know he loves to talk to people. Back to the action, top of the 4th. Noah Weaver, Hayes Edens, and A.J. Davies, the first 3 against Connor Timmons. The first pitch is in there for a strike against Weaver, who grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. 0 for 3 on the season for Noah Weaver so far. Next pitch is on the outside corner again. Make that strike 2 on Noah Weaver. The 6'2" sophomore from University Prep High in Reading. The DH today. 0-2 pitch coming. Fastball just misses inside. Good-looking pitch by Connor Timmons. Top of the 4th. Shasta leads this one 5-2. That one's chopped back over the pitcher's glove into center field past the diving Ryland Druck. Base hit for Noah Weaver. First hit of the season for Weaver. He's down at first base. 4th hit for the Knights, and that brings up Hayes Edens, who struck out to end the top of the 2nd. The catcher out of Weld Central High School in Hudson, Colorado. Hayes, a sophomore. Blackwell playing in a little third, and Timmons is going to throw over to first base to try to trap off Noah Weaver, but a little bit too late. Willie Tatum is the first baseman for the Beavers. Ryland Druck at second. Darren Eels at short, and Julian Blackwell over at third. Aiden Imperial behind the plate. Show a bunt, that's too high for a ball, 1-0. Left field's Marcus Babada. Center field, Dominic Ott. Right field, Wyatt Balky. 1-0. Blackwell coming in at third. Doesn't show bunt. Pop up left side. Into left center field, Dominic Ott is going to call for it and make the catch in the left center field for the first out. So the bunt was taken off. Edens flies to left. A.J. Davies coming to the plate, reached base on an error his first time up. Back in the 3rd inning. Here's Davies. 3 for 10 coming in. He takes a fastball down low for a ball, 1-0. A.J. from Carlsbad High in Carlsbad. Also a sophomore. Timmons checks the runner. Here's the pitch. High, ball 2. 2-0. 2 runs in the first and 3 in the 3rd for the Knights. Beavers came back with 2 in their half of the 3rd inning to make it 5-2. 2-run single for Jake Morrell. 2-0 pitch. Chopped down to first base. Tatum's just going to go ahead and step on the bag. Could have thought about throwing it to second, but trying to throw it around the runner. He takes the sure out. Moving down to second is Weaver, but now with 2 outs, that'll bring up Shea Bowen, the leadoff man, the center fielder. He's reached on an error and walked. Scored both times. 4 for 12 coming into this one. A home run and 7 runs batted in for Shea Bowen. Comes to us from Tumwater High in Tumwater, Washington. Left-handed hitter against the right-hander Connor Timmons. Fastball in there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. No Weaver out at second base. Led off the inning with a single and then moved to second on the ground out by Davies. 0-1 pitch. Chopped foul toward the dugout. So quickly 0-2. Connor Timmons coming off the mound. And Jim Marquez picks it up and underhands it to him. Connor goes back out to the mound, rubs it up a little bit, and comes out to an 0-2 count on Shea Bowen. Beavers came up with 2 in the bottom of the third. You want to go ahead and shut down the team in the top of the fourth. That's that Stones-McCoy shutdown inning theory. 0-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. Gets away from Imperial. He picks it up. He might have a chance at third base. He throws. The tag is put on, and he is out at third base. Aiden Imperial did not give up on that one. Picked it up, spun around, and flung it down to Julian Blackwell. He applies the tag, and Weaver is out. So no runs, 1 hit, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's Shasta 5, American River 2. Forward from Beaver Field, it's a 5-2 lead for the Shasta College Knights over your American River College Beavers, but the Beavers sending Willie Tatum, Julian Blackwell, and Aiden Imperial. 6, 7, and 8 against Alex Alvarez, who so far has given up 2 runs on 4 hits through the first 3 innings. Beavers with 3 hits in that third inning. Got the clutch 2-run single by Jake Morrell. The first pitch to Tatum is in there for a strike. Willie struck out back in the second inning. So he is 0 for 1 here today. Takes that one in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike on Willie Tatum. 6'3" sophomore out of Grant High School. Slightly open stance from the right side against the right-hander Alvarez. 1-1 pitch is outside. It's the catcher on the foot, which catchers don't even notice. Regular people get like, ow, limping all around, but catchers don't even notice that stuff. 2-1. That's hit out in the air toward right field. Cressetti has a beat on it and makes the catch for the first out. So Tatum hit it solidly, but right at Giacomo Cressetti in right field. 1 out in this bottom of the fourth, and here's Julian Blackwell, who grounded out to third his first time up. Blackwell playing at third base. He played second in the opening series against West Valley, over at third today. And he is 0 for 1. Swings and misses at a high breaking ball. 0-1 on Julian Blackwell. 2 hits on the season, one of them a ringing double in the first game of the season. He awaits the 0-1. Fastball is outside for a ball. Evens the count at 1-1 on Blackwell. Aiden Imperial, the catcher, to follow. He and Blackwell combining to retire the last runner here in the top of the fourth. Swing and miss at a fastball outside corner. 1-2 as Imperial picked up the ball that went back to the backstop, threw it over to third, and Blackwell applied the tag to Noah Weaver. 1-2, 1 out here in the fourth. Takes ball 2. 2-2. 2-2 pitch from Alvarez. Swing and a miss, off speed. Blackwell is down on strikes. 2 outs here in the fourth quickly, and here's Aiden Imperial, who flied to right his first time up. He's going to have a couple of words with Julian Blackwell as he makes his way to the plate. Marcus Pavada makes his way to the on-deck circle. He will only come to the plate in the situation if Imperial reaches base. That's outside for a ball from Alvarez. 1-0. Hayes Eden's behind the plate for Shasta. Drew Reynolds at first, A.J. Davies at second, Drew Marquez at short. Next pitch is in there for a strike. At third is Steven Nelson. Keanu Muzada in left, Shea Bowen in center, and Giacomo Rossetti is in right. That's fouled back to the screen by Imperial. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Aiden. 5'11" freshman from Bear Creek High School in Stockton. Takes a fastball right down the middle, call strike 3. So a good inning for Alex Alvarez, 1-2-3. We go to the top of the 5th. The Knights lead it 5-2.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Welcome back to Beaver Field. Mark the Phantom Low here with Stones McCoy, the titular head of Stones Radio Networks, who seems to do everything, including put his picture up on the website everywhere so that Ryland Druck's grandmother, even when she came up, she didn't know me, but she knew Stones because his picture's all over the place, which is exactly what he intended the whole time. We thank Ryland's grandmother for coming up and saying nice things about us. And she's actually in attendance today, so she cannot be watching at home. So those of you who are watching, thank you. And you've got to carry the weight for Ryland's grandmother. And we thank you all for checking out American River College Athletics, especially American River College Baseball. We've got a lot of views over the first couple of games, and we appreciate that. Let's get started in the top of the 5th. Shea Bowen, Jude Marquez, and Drew Reynolds, the first 3, the top of the order for the Knights. Bowen was at the plate when Weaver was thrown out at third base to end the top of the 4th inning, so he is back up here. First one bounces halfway there, so that's going to be called a ball, I believe. 1 ball and no strikes. Bowen reached on an error and scored in the first, and then walked and scored in the third. So he is 0 for 1 with 2 runs scored. Has driven in 7 runs this season so far with a home run. Came in 4 for 12. That one's hit sharply right side of Tatum off his glove, picked up by Tatum, but Bowen's going to beat it out, and that's going to be ruled another error for the Beavers. That is their 4th error today. Sharply hit ball. And Bowen is at first base. He's on for the 3rd time in a row. And here's Marquez, who is struck out and sacrificed. So he's 0 for 1, the shortstop. Out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, throw over to first base, and Bowen is back easily.
Number 9, the shortstop, Jude Marquez.
Beavers had 9 errors coming in off that opening series. They've committed 4 so far through the first 4+ innings. Timmons throws over to first again. A little bit too high over there. Tatum pulls it down. Open stance for Marquez. Still looking for his first hit of the season. He's going to bunt this time, pulls it back. Throw back to first base by Imperial, but a little bit late on the tag. Believe that was a ball. Let's check and see. We're getting word that it's called a strike, but I don't know if that's from a reliable source. But we'll go with that because it fits our narrative. And we want it to be a strike, so that's good. There goes the runner inside. Imperial throws it down. It's going to go out into center field. I don't think he had a chance. A really good jump by Bowen that time. He will be credited with the stolen base. So he is down at second base without necessity of the sacrifice. So we got a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Jude Marquez. So it looks like our information was reliable. So we'll file that away for future consideration. And Marquez steps in again. Drew Reynolds to follow. Check at second base. Blackwell is in at third in case the bunt is put down. But Marquez is going to take a breaking ball. Look good, and it is on the inside corner for a call strike. One ball and 2 strikes. Connor Timmons working in his 5th inning, giving up 4 hits so far. Looks back at second. That one's chopped foul. Over to the right side, out of play, toward what usually is our picnic area here, but it's not really the best climate for a picnic right now. Although, if you want to come out here and, throw down the blanket, put down the little tablecloth and get a little vino, that's fine. Actually, it's not fine because you can't have vino here, but soda. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Timmons with a big fastball gets Marquez for actually the second time today. He has 3 strikeouts. And here is Drew Reynolds, who was grounded out to first base and hit a sacrifice fly, a very, very high sacrifice fly, if memory serves me. That is Drew's 4th RBI of the season. He got that back in the 3rd inning, also has 2 home runs. The big left-handed hitting first baseman settles in. Timmons delivers a fastball, hits the outside corner, called strike. Reynolds, as we said, a freshman, 6 foot 215 out of WF West High School in Chehalis, Washington. 0-1 here. Timmons delivers 0-1. It's hit sharply into left field for a base hit. Takes a big hop out there, picked up by Bavada. He's going to try to get it to the plate. The runner comes in. He's going to score. The throw back to second. The tag is put on Reynolds. He is out at second base. A nice job by Blackwell to cut that off. It's an RBI single for Reynolds. He's thrown out at second base. And scoring is Bowen. Another unearned run, but a run nonetheless. As Reynolds picks up his 5th RBI of the season, it's now 6-2 in favor of the Knights. And here's Steven Nelson. Reynolds with a perfect placement of that one, right between third and short. That one's in the dirt for a ball. Took a big hop on the way out to Bavada. Marcus's throw a little bit offline, but cut off, and then throw him back to second base to Druck, who had to hold in and make the tag on the 215-pound Reynolds. And he did it. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. 1-1. One pitch from the windup Timmons. That's chopped out toward short. It's going to be cut off by Blackwell. He's going to take his time, get it to first. Nice play, Blackwell, for the out. So 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left at the end of 4.5. It's the Knights 6 and the Beavers 2.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos.
You're listening to coverage of ARC Athletics on Stones Radio Network.
Going into the bottom of the fifth, the Shasta College Knights 6, the American River College Beavers 2, Marcus Babada, and then the top of the other, Ryland Druck and Darren Eels. Babada is the guy with the Bon Jovi. Pops that one up left side. Third baseman Nelson is going to call for it and make the catch barely and retire Babada. Nelson stuck with it, made the catch, one out, and that'll bring up Ryland Druck, who was singled and popped out. And if you are on the YouTube stream, I think you should rewind it or however you do it, or watch it again and watch Ryland Druck with the tag on Reynolds in the top of the inning, because I think he got moved about 10 feet out there but kept the glove on and got the call. So here's Ryland 1 for 2 with one out here in the fifth. Takes that one in there for a strike, 0-1. Druck, a freshman out of Roseville. It says 5'8" on here. I've been assured by the Beavers in the press box that is not accurate. He's closer to 6'1". Fouls that one off, 0-2. We're in number 19, followed by Darren Eels. Alex Alvarez, working in his fifth inning. He's given up 4 hits. That one's chopped out towards shortstop, picked up by Marquez on the run, wings it across to first and gets Ryland by a step over at first base. 2 up, 2 down for the Beavers here in the fifth, and Darren Eels comes to the plate. He's flied to right and flied to left, and both of them hit well, and especially the one to left, which took Zuda way back toward the warning track in left field, right at the 370 mark down there to flag it down. So Darren 0 for 2, though, the freshman shortstop out of Bear Creek in Stockton. Chops that one down the first base line. Picked up by the first base coach. Well, actually, not really picked up. I would be giving him too much credit because that was a haphazard try, and it glanced off his hand, which in this weather probably doesn't feel all that good. 0-1. Darren gets something started. Dominic Ott is on deck. Chops that one out to a shortstop, cut off by Nelson. No, he couldn't make the play, so Nelson went in front of the shortstop, went off both their gloves, and Eels is at first base. That's going to be a base hit. So Eels goes down to first base. Some contention. Some are saying error. Some are saying base hit. We'll wait for the official scorekeeper. And here's Dominic Ott. Dominic popped up in the first and then lined a double down the line in the third with 2 outs. He later scored on the Morrell single. So he is 1 for 2. 3 for 15 on the season with a home run, a couple runs batted in. Pops that one up out towards second base. Davies making the move, and he's got it for the out. So a base hit for Eels doesn't account for anything as Ott pops up. At the end of 5, it's Shasta 6 and American River 2.
I love it. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I need a job. Personally, the rewarding part about not eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it. I love it. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Red was started because I need a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about not eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Network.
We move into the top of the sixth from Beaver Field. It's the Knights 6 and the Beavers 2. The Knights will send up Keanu Mizuta, and then Giacomo Cressetti and Noah Weaver. 5, 6, and 7 against Connor Timmons, working into his sixth inning of work. He's given up 6 runs, just 5 hits, and there's going to take a scholar to figure out how many of those runs were earned. I don't have that capability, as the Beavers have committed 4 errors behind Connor Timmons. First pitch is high for a ball. Mizuta has singled and then singled. 2-0 as Keanu has 2 runs batted into the game. He has 4 for the season and is now 4 for 12. Left hand hitting a left fielder. 2-0 pitch from Timmons. That's swung on and fouled into Imperial's glove, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike with Giacomo Cressetti on deck. Mizuta from Enterprise High School in Reading. Left-hander waits. Timmons' next delivery. Fastball hits the outside corner. Call strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Timmons looked a lot. To me, he's looked sharper than he did in the first outing, and we told you, Coach Jay thought that Connor threw the ball well in that first outing as well. 2 pitches outside, ball 3. So working their way into it, and it's not easy to pitch in this kind of weather anyway. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Timmons from the windup. 3-2 pitch inside, ball 4. So Mizuta on for the 3rd straight time, this time via the base on balls. I think that's just the 3rd one given up by Timmons. And here is Giacomo Cressetti, who is grounded to second and grounded to third. So he is looking down at his third base coach. Julian Blackwell is playing in on the grass at third base. As Cressetti waits the Timmons delivery, he shows bunt and pulls it back, and the runner's going. The throw to second base is going to be too high and into center field, so it'll be a stolen base for Mizuta. Cressetti back in. So that was called a strike, it looked like. I didn't see any movement by the umpire, but he signaled strike, so 0-1. That one is in there again, strike 2, 0-2. Imperial's going to call time and go out and talk to Timmons because I believe he might have been crossed up on that last one. He was expecting something other than he got, which is why a perfectly good strike didn't look like a strike when it was caught, because he was expecting it to do something else. But after all that explanation, no balls and 2 strikes. Umpire confirms the 0-2 that Stones McCoy had postulated. Oh, there's our first dog of the day, Stones. That's down in the dirt for a ball. That's like, oh, come on. That's a toy poodle, but it's chocolate, and they gave it to Ryan Druck's grandma. Of course. She gets all the good stuff. Nothing like having if you're going to be at a game, it's a little chilly, have a little dog on your lap there. Going to warm you up a little bit. 1-2 to Cressetti, Noah Weaver to follow. That's in the dirt again. Nice block by Imperial. Timmons trying to snap that one off. 2-2. Shasta 1-2 on the season after their opening series against Consumers River College. Beavers still looking for their first win. That's in the dirt, gets away on a wild pitch. Going down to third base now is Mizuta. And he'll be at third base with a full count now on Giacomo Cressetti. Beavers dropped 3 to West Valley, so they're still looking for their first win of the young season, which is just starting its second month. They're bringing the infield in. Look out for that. That's going to break a ball that hit Cressetti in the back, so he goes down to first base. First and third now. Nobody out here in the sixth. Then they'll bring up Noah Weaver, who's grounded back to the pitcher and singled, so he is 1 for 2. Hit a single back up the middle and back in the 4th inning. Looking down at his coach. Saying what we're having, it's kind of tough to see if there's activity in the bullpen. It looks like there's some shadowy figures out there. Looks like it might be Christian Lucero. Stones usually just tells me the number. Now he's playing gestures, trying to get me. I have to try to guess who it is. First ball is in there for a strike, and no show of a bunt by Noah Weaver. He is behind the count 0-1. Picked up his first hit of the season back in the 4th. Just his 4th official at bat, though. 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed, 0-2. So Beavers playing for the double play in the middle infield. Blackwell even with the bag at third, so he'll kind of figure it out as he goes over there. 0-2 pitch to Weaver. High fly ball, left field going out is the shortstop Eels. He's going to call for it and make the catch in short left field. No one will be able to advance, so good job by Timmons to get Weaver to pop out. Eventually turned out to be shortstop. One out, and here is Hayes Edens, the catcher. He has struck out and flied out to left field, so Hayes is 0 for 2 today. Out of Hudson, Colorado. The sophomore catcher, listed at 5'11". Up here with runners at first and third, one out. A.J. Davies to follow. He shows bunt, tries to bunt, bunts it back to the screen, so it's 0-1. Just about to say I wouldn't be surprised with one out to see them try to send Cressetti. He leads off at first base, coming down the line at third. That one's in the dirt, going to get away from Imperial. Here comes the runner down the line from third, Masuda, and he's going to score on the wild pitch. So a walk, a stolen base, and a couple of wild pitches, and Masuda scores. Cressetti goes down to second base. Another run without benefit of a hit, 7-2 now in favor of Shasta. Still Cressetti out at second base and just one out. 1 ball and 1 strike on Hayes Edens. Blackwell playing up at third. That one fouled out of play, a full swing. So it's 1-2 on Edens with A.J. Davies to follow. One ball, 2 strikes. Timmons, Aiden Imperial behind the plate, getting the signs. 1-2 pitches in the dirt, nice block, preventing Cressetti from moving down to third, but it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Timmons 5 in the third innings now. Just 5 hits allowed, but he has walked 3 and hit 1. Couple of wild pitches in this inning, moving runners along as well. Swing and a miss, got him on strikes. Good pitch right there under his hands, a fastball dropped by Imperial, but he picked it up quickly and tagged Edens to retire him. So 2 outs, and here's A.J. Davies. Reached base on an error in the third and scored, and then grounded out to first in the 4th, so he is 0 for 2, does have a run scored. A.J. has 4 runs batted in on the season, has Cressetti out there at second base in scoring position. 1 run already in for the Knights here in the 6th. That's in the dirt again, gets by and goes back to the backstop, and going over to third base is Cressetti. So he's 90 feet away. The pitch is called a ball, so 1 ball and no strikes on Davies. Shea Bowen, the top of the order, on deck for the Knights. Connor Timmons gets a new baseball from the umpire, who really intently scrutinizes the old one as if he saw something amiss in the whole thing. And now we're going to have a meeting at the mound here. It's pitching coach goes out to talk to Connor Timmons. We'll take just a little bit of a break here, step away for just a second. We are in the top of the 6th. The Knights lead this one 7-2.
the Phantom right here on Stone's Radio Networks.
A.J. Davies at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Cressetti is down at third. 1 run in here in the 6th. Knights lead at 7-2. Connor Timmons, the starter, still out on the mound for the Beavers. The right-hander comes set and delivers. A little bit high, a little bit outside, 2-0 on Davies. Shea Bowen to follow. Davies with 3 hits on the season and 4 runs batted in. Said he's 0 for 2 today, does have a run scored. 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3, 3-0. Don't know what was, talked about. I don't have the transcript of their meeting. I'm feeling he's saying, I want you to close this one out. I want you to get the feeling of finishing this inning, if possible. So let's just, do that whole bear down thing. Pretty popular. 3-0 pitch, good-looking pitch, inside corner, call strike, 3-1. One of those really cool things that managers and coaches say that really you don't understand. Bear down. What does that, what does that really mean? 3-1, although I would say it if I was a coach. That's down low for a ball. And Davies is at first with the base on balls. 2 walks and a hit batter in this inning for the Knights. And here's Shea Bowen, who has reached on an error, walked, reached on an error, and he scored all 3 times. So he's 0 for 2 with 3 runs scored, which you don't see that line every day. Timmons drops his glove, which I thought under all the new rules that probably there would be something wrong with that, but let's see if Davies is going from first base. He is not, and the first pitch is high for a ball. The Knights pulled off the double steal earlier in the game. They get their runner thrown out, but not until the run had scored from third base. 1 ball, no strikes on Bowen. That's down low and gets past Imperial back to the backstop. He's going to pick it up and throw it. It's not going to be in time. He won't even throw it, and scoring is Cressetti. Second run of the inning for the Knights. Couple of walks, a hit by pitch, a couple of wild pitches and a pass ball, and 2 runs have scored. It's 8-2 in favor of the Knights. And down at second base is A.J. Davies. A 2-0 count on Shea Bowen. Right-hander against left-hander. That one is down low for a ball, so inside, 3-0. Jude Marquez, the shortstop, the number 2 hitter on deck for Shasta. That's lined down the right field line, foul. 3-0 pitch was jumped on by Bowen and hit it hard, but foul down the first base line considerably as the little chocolate toy dog goes away. There you go. Oh, yeah, that's a diva right there. Oh, you can tell. You can just tell. 3 balls, 1 strike. High fly ball. Left field, short left field. Going out is Eels. Coming in is the left fielder Babada and makes the catch. So Bowen is out. Fly ball to left field to end the inning. 2 runs, no hits, 1 left at the end of 5.5. It's Shasta 8 and American River 2.
Now back to the action right here on Stone's Radio Networks.
Bottom of the sixth, Beavers trail this one 8-2. Jake Morrell, Wyatt Balke, Willie Tatum, the first three slated up against Alex Alvarez, who is in his sixth inning of work, probably his last inning as there is activity in the Knights bullpen. There's a sharply hit ball to the right of second base. Diving play by the second baseman, gets up, throws to first, and just barely doesn't get Morrell. Throw pulled the first baseman off. He tried the sweep tag on Morrell, but a brilliant play by A.J. Davies to get it over to first, and Morrell beats it out. He's going to get credit for a single. He really smoked that ball, his second hit of the game, and here's Wyatt Balke. Davies went to his right, almost did like a full somersault, came up and threw it immediately, but pulled Reynolds off just a bit at first base. Balke swings and misses. Wyatt is hit into a fielder's choice and struck out, so he is 0 for 2. So almost a brilliant play by A.J. Davies results in an infield single for Jake Morrell. He's 2 for 2. And here's Balke. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss again off speed pitch. 0-2. Willie Tatum to follow. That's hit number 6 for the Beavers. 2 of them by Jake Morrell. 0-2 coming to Balke. Hits the ball well out into right center field. Moving over is Bowen, and he's got a beat on it and makes the catch. Well hit ball by Wyatt Balke, but he is retired by Shea Bowen in right center field for the first out, and they'll bring up Willie Tatum. The first baseman is 0 for 2 today. He's struck out and flied out to right field. Up here with 1 out and a runner at first base. Julian Blackwell to follow. We're in the bottom of the sixth from Beaver Field. Shasta, 2 in the first, 3 in the third, 1 in the fifth, and 2 in the sixth to offset 2 for the Beavers. In the third, first pitch is in there for a strike. Tatum, slightly open stance from the right side for the 6'3" first baseman. Alvarez delivers. Willie takes in there for a strike again on the inside corner, 0-2. Alvarez threw 2 innings in the opening. His opening loss is victimized by a little defensive problems. Gave up 6 runs, but just 2 were earned. And he's into his 6th inning here today. The throw over to first base, and Morrell is back. So Alvarez has bounced back. Gunnar Timmons has pitched well for the Beavers. He's given up just 5 hits, even though Shasta has 8 runs. Here's the pitch. Chopped back to the pitcher. Handled back to second, and a bad throw into center field. Morrell slid, so he jumps up. He's going to try to get to third. The throw comes in, and Morrell head first slide safe. Back to second, not in time. Tatum is safe. So an error on the throwing error by the pitcher, Alvarez, results in the Beavers moving runners around to second and third now with still just 1 out here in the 6th. Chopped the ball right back to the pitcher, and he just turned and threw it over everybody's head. Morrell, as we said, had slid, and he had to get back up and go to third. Crescetti came up with the ball, tried to gun him out at third, and we're going to have a meeting at the mound. And so we're going to just step away for a second, although, we'll step away for a second. Well, Stone says we have to keep it here, and he's my boss. So we'll keep it here as the meeting at the mound goes on, and Stones McCoy will take over and tell us about an event happening on February 18th, which promises to be a heck of a lot of fun.
That February 18th, the promise is Saturday, 5 to 10, ARC Student Center. It's the Crab Feed.
The American River College Alumni Association Crab Feed?
That's the one.
That's the one. I've heard good things about that one.
So check it out. You can go online. You can also scan the QR code right now and join us there. It's going to be a lot of fun. All the proceeds are going to help out American River Athletics.
That's right, American River College student athletes. That is the big beneficiary. So we thank you in advance for that, and we are back in action. It was a short visit to the mound. Here's Julian Blackwell. He takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Julian has struck out and grounded to third, so he's 0 for 2. First error of the game for the Knights, who committed 13 in their opening series, so they tightened it up today. And here is Blackwell. Hits that back off the pitcher's leg. It's going to be picked up by the shortstop. Blackwell has an infield single, and he has himself an RBI. The throw back to third, and Tatum gets back in. So Morrell scores. It's an RBI single for Blackwell, his 3rd hit of the season. Tatum is at third now. Blackwell at first, and here's Aiden Imperial. That ball was hit sharply right back off looked like it might have been the leg of the pitcher, probably off his glove, since nobody is out checking on him. Rolled out toward shortstop, picked up by Marquez. He looked at first and threw back to third. and Tatum got back in. So here's Aiden Imperial, who struck out and flied to right. Takes that one in there for a strike. Second hit of the inning, 7th hit of the game for the Beavers, and a run scoring single by Blackwell, his first run batted into the season. 0-1 on Aiden. Throw over to first base, but Blackwell is not on very far, so he gets back easily. Imperial and then Marcus Babada, 8 and 9 hitters for the Beavers. Up here with a chance to do some damage. There goes the runner. It's swung on and missed. The throw goes down to second base. The tag is made, and he is out at second base. And the swing by Imperial after the ball was already by. So Blackwell is thrown out at second base for the second out of the inning, and Imperial now 0-2. So that did not go the way the Beavers had planned it, as the throw by Edens was excellent, right on the money. 0-2 now to Imperial. Takes it down low for a ball. Tatum still over at third base, but now 2 outs here in the 6th. 8-3 for the Knights. One-two pitch is hit sharply down the third base line, but just foul. So Imperial jumped on that one, jumped on it a little bit too much, and he'll be back up with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Tatum still down at third. 2 outs in the 6th. Kind of expecting to see a pitching change in the 7th for the Beavers. 1-2. Hit sharply to the right of shortstop into left field for a base hit. A big hit by Aiden Imperial. And Coach Jay over there going, I wish I had that other runner throw back to first behind him. And Imperial, first hit of the season, first RBI of the season. Willie Tatum scores the second run of the inning for the Beavers. Now it's 8-4 in favor of Shasta. And here's Marcus Babada. He is singled and popped out to third. Imperial over at first. Babada from the left side waits. Takes in there for a strike, 0-1. Good piece of 2-strike hitting by Aiden Imperial. Hit that one right into the hole between short and third. Drove in Willie Tatum. Second run of the inning for the Beavers. Babada takes outside for a ball. Beavers with 8 hits and 4 runs. Actually out-hitting the Knights 8-5. But the Knights outscoring the Beavers 8-4. 1-1 pitch outside, ball 2. Top of the order, Ryland Druck on deck. If Marcus can keep things going. Bluff, and on the outside corner, the bluff by Imperial, the strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Fastball outside, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Babada from St. Mary's High down in Stockton. Marcus, the 6'2" freshman. 3-2 coming up. Runner goes. That's chopped out toward first base. Picked up by the first baseman. Flips it over to the pitcher covering and makes the play at first base. So Babada is out 3-1. 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 left at the end of 6. It's Shasta 8, American River College 4.
I love it. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about eating it always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it. I love baking. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about eating it It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Networks.
David Centeno, the new pitcher for the Beavers, the 5'10" freshman out of Roseville, is making his second appearance of the season. Really impressed Coach Jumalet in the first appearance, so he is back out there in relief of Connor Timmons, who went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 8 runs. I have no idea how many were earned, but I'm guessing not much more than 2 of them were earned. And he is relieved by David Centeno. He will face 2, 3, and 4, Jude Marquez, then Drew Reynolds and Steven Nelson. First pitch, a breaking ball slider on the outside corner for a strike to Jude Marquez, who has struck out twice in sacrifice, so he is 0 for 2. Right-hander from the windup. The 0-2 pitch, the 0-1 pitch misses inside. It's now 1-1. Kind of dreaming there. Kind of make it 0-2 right away. I don't think you can do that, but what the heck. 1-1 is swung on a missed off-speed pitch, so Marquez is behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch to Jude Marquez. Line drive to the right, a second, scooped up by Druck. A nice play over to first for the out. Rylan Druck, an excellent play at second base to retire Marquez on a well-hit ball for the first out of the inning. Centeno, this is his second appearance. He went 4 2/3 in his first and gave up just 3 hits and 1 run. Struck out 3 and walked 1. So that's why Coach Jumalet was very impressed with David, and he's got the first out, although it was a nice play by Druck at second base. There's a high fly ball by Reynolds, deep right field. Going back is Balke. Still going back. I think he ran out of room and hit the wall, and Balke runs it down. Reynolds is going to settle in at second base. And Balke, excellent try out there on a well-hit ball by Reynolds. It's a double for Drew, his second hit of the game, and he is at second base with 1 out. And our eagle eyes are telling us that maybe he missed it by 2 feet out there, a home run. But Balke was right on it. But the ball hits the fence. Balke retrieves it, gets it into second base, and Reynolds is safely ensconced there. So it is the first hit off Centeno. And here's Steven Nelson. Just the 6th hit for the Knights today. Second for Reynolds, who is now 2 for 3. Here's Nelson. He used it sharply down the third base line, but foul. The third base coach either was saying hit it fair or that was fair. I think it was probably hit it fair. So Nelson, who walked, singled, and grounded out, is behind in the count 0-1. Sharply closed stance for Steven Nelson. Centeno checks second. Breaking ball in there for a strike. A beautiful looking pitch. It is 0-2 on Nelson from Foothill High School in Palisadro. No, actually Foothill High School in Shingletown. That's the Foothill High School. 0-2 pitch. Check swing, did he go? We're going to ask, and he did not go, according to the umpire, who's in the middle of the field, so really not a great angle for him, but I don't know if he went or not. 1-2 on Nelson. Good pitch by Centeno, though. Reynolds out at second base with 1 out. A breaking ball swerves outside, so it's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Centeno checking in with Aiden Imperial, getting the sign. Nelson waits. Down in the dirt, nice block, but it's 3-2 now on Steven Nelson. He's followed by Keanu Masuda, who has a couple hits and a walk today, so he's been trouble for the Beavers. Nelson 4 for 12 coming in with a couple of runs batted in. He has one more here today. 3-2 coming up from Centeno. Hit sharply out to the right of short. Nice play at shortstop by Eels. He's going to have a long throw to first. Did he get him? No, he didn't, and the ball got away at first base. Here comes Reynolds around to score. The throw to second base, though, is going to get Nelson out at second base. So it'll be an infield single, I think, for Nelson. But the ball got away at first base, allowing Reynolds to score. Nelson is thrown out from Willie Tatum to shortstop. So that is the second out of the inning. No RBI on that play. And there'll be an error somewhere. I'll let to see if it's on the throw or on the first baseman, because the ball getting away allowed Reynolds to come around and score. So 2 outs. And that one's a little chopper down the right side. It's picked up and gunned to first base, and that looked like, I think, Anthony Packard is coming at third, and he made that play 5-3 to get Mizuta. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left. At the end of 6.5, it is now Shasta 9 and American River 4.
Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at Super Taco, we specialize in authentic Mexican food. One of the reasons we are different from other places is that we make everything from scratch. You get a great value when you come here, large portions and quality food. Our most popular dishes are many different kind of tacos. We have giant burritos, different kinds of enchiladas, and the fajita. If you're ready for real Mexican food, stop in at a Super Taco. We love to see you. Here at
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Network.
Sorry we got a little late getting back. We were looking at the locations for Super Taco because we are committed to trying to track down some Super Tacos, especially Stones McCoy. Bottom of the 7th, 9-4 in favor of the Knights of Shasta College. They have Andrew Shanks, the 6'5" freshman, coming in to pitch. He's a freshman out of Foothill. Of course, there's many out of Foothill of Palisadro. So he comes in here. Ryland Druck will be the first hitter he'll face, and then Darren Eels and Dominic Ott. So Andrew Shanks relieving Alex Alvarez, who went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits and 4 runs. First pitch is down in the dirt for a ball. Alvarez pretty impressive out there today for the Knights as he came back from just 2 innings in his opening outing and went 6 in this one. Gives up to Andrew Shanks now. That next pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 from the big, tall, lanky right-hander. They list him at 180. That's probably about right. Kind of a skinny guy. That one is a little high, 2-1. He reminds me of the guy in Caddyshack. Park my car, get my clubs, and gain some weight. There you go. I'm sure he will do that over the course of the next 2 years. That's chopped foul by Ryland Druck. 2-2. Ryland also needs to gain some weight, but he doesn't have the 6'5" frame to put it on. We met his grandma today. That was nice. Here's the 2-2. That's in the dirt, ball 3. Very complimentary about Stones McCoy. I said, he doesn't do anything really except sit behind the thing. She goes, well, he does it very well. And he has a handsome face on the website. I couldn't argue with that, of course. Full count. Call strike 3. Ryland thought that was a little bit high. Call strike 3 for the first out. And Shanks' first batter is a strikeout, and that brings up Darren Eels, who has flied to right, flied to left, and singled. Right-handed hitting shortstop out of Bear Creek High in Stockton. Fastball is on the corner. Call strike one. 0-1 on Darren Eels. Shanks winds and throws. That's a big breaking ball. Misses outside or high. Take your pick. 1-1. One ball and one strike. Bottom of the seventh. Takes a fastball. That's on the inside corner. 1-2. Shanks in the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Eels swings and misses. The ball gets away from the catcher. Eels is going to get down to first base. Eden throws it. He's not going to be in time. So it's a strikeout and error on the catcher. And Eels makes his way to first base, where he'll be down there with one out. And now Dominic Ott at the plate. So the Beavers get a break. And here's Dominic Ott. Ott's first pitch inside for a ball. One ball and no strikes. Shanks with the 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed, took something off that. The throw goes down to first base, a little bit high, and back safely is Darren Eels. Second appearance of the season for Andrew Shanks. He went an inning and 2/3, gave up 2 hits and 3 runs. None of those runs were earned, though, in his only other appearance. Breaking ball, check swing, he went. Call strike 2 on Dominic Ott. So quickly, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dominic. On deck, Jake Morrell, who's been the hottest hitter for the Beavers here today, 2 for 2 with a walk. 1-2 coming. Check swing. That time, did he go again? They are saying no, he did not. That time, it looked like the umpire was pointing to the swing, but he was actually asking for help. And the base umpire says no, and I agreed with him. You know, I'm totally unbiased, and I agreed with him. 2-2. Eels leads at first. Shanks from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Hit sharply down the third baseline, but foul. Stephen Nelson all over that one down there. As it's 2-2 on Dominic Ott. 1 out here in the 7th. 9-4 Shasta. Looking to even their record at 2-2. The Beavers looking to get their first win of the 2023 campaign. Shanks is set to go. Here's the pitch. Check swing, check swing, but it got away from the catcher. A wild pitch going around second is Eels. He's thinking about making it for third. I don't think it's a good idea, as Ott takes ball 3. I've seen people try that, and it always looks like a good idea when you bluff it. But then they stop, and maybe you could have made it. That's a good job. But then when they ever try it, they get thrown out by like 30 feet, and they have to go back to the dugout all sad. 3-2 pitch coming to Dominic Ott. Takes ball 4. Had to wait a second there because Ryland Druck thought the same thing, and he was called out on strike. So here's Jake Morrell, who, as we said, walked in the first, 2-run single in the third, another single in the 6th. So he scored a run also in the 6th. He is 2 for 2. Driven in 2, scored 1. He's up here with runners at first and second. And just 1 out here. Check swing, and he went around. That is a strike. 0-1 on Jake. 6'4", Jake Morrell, out of Whitney High School. Shanks looks back at second. Breaking ball, check swing again, and I have to admit, I don't know. 1 ball and 1 strike. I thought the umpire pointed to the other umpire, and the other umpire didn't do anything. He's like, I'll show those guys up there. I won't make a sign. 1-1 to the left-hand hitting Morrell. That's sliced into left center field, coming over the left fielder, and he's going to make a running catch. That's Mizuto out there, and a nice running catch on a ball that was kind of slicing toward him, and he came in and made the catch. So Morrell is retired for the first time today, 2 outs. And here is Wyatt Balke. Balke has hit to a forced play, struck out and flied to center. hit the ball deep to right center field back in the sixth inning, but it was hauled down by Bowen out there. He's up here with 2 outs and runners at first and second. Andrew Shanks, the new pitcher, relieving Alex Alvarez. Breaking ball, a little bit too high for a ball 1-0. Alvarez went 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. He leaves with a 9-4 lead. One-zero pitch coming from Shanks. Down to the dirt, ball 2. Nice block back there by Edens. Thought about throwing it down to first base, but Reynolds not really over there. So 2-0 now on Balke. Willie Tatum to follow. Eels out at second. That's fouled out of play. A high fastball that Balke really liked the looks of, but couldn't get around on it just quick enough. So it'll be 2-1 on Wyatt. 6'5" freshman. Pitcher outfielder out of Wood Creek High School in Roseville. That's outside. And there goes the runner. The throw to third base, kind of a no-look throw, but he is in there safely. So Eels steals third, and I was captivated by the throw by Hayes Edens, who wasn't really looking at third and threw it over there anyway. And Eels is over at third base. 3 balls and 1 strike on Balke, so White will be looking for something he can drive here. He's got Eels at third now, and Dominic Ott still over at first base. Dominic thought it better not to take off on that one. 6'5" Andrew Shanks comes set. It's hit sharply out towards shortstop, picked up out there by Marquez. Going to go all the way across the diamond. I don't think he got him. He's safe at first base. Balke beats it out for the RBI single. And Eels moving over to third. It's a big deal now as Balke will get the RBI on the infield single. Moving to second is Ott. Just a tough play by Marquez. Had to go into the hole and throw across his body. And Balke gets down the line for the infield single and the RBI. 9-5 now in favor of the Knights. 9th hit of the game for the Beavers, and here is Willie Tatum. He takes right down the middle for a strike. Willie is struck out, flied to right, and reached on an error. So he is over 3. Looking for his 3rd hit of the season. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Breaking ball inside for a ball, 1-1. Tatum trying to keep it going. Anthony Packard is on deck. He came on for Julian Blackwell in the top of the 7th inning at third base. One pitch. Tatum takes in there, call strike 2. So quickly 1-2 on Willie Tatum. Balke over at first, Dominic Ott out at second. 1 run in for the Beavers here in the 7th, but they still trail at 9-5. Tatum stepping out, stepping back in, now stepping out again. Runners take their leads for the 1-2 from Shanks. Check swing, and the runners are going. The throw's going to go down to second base, but that is not in time. It's a double steal for the Beavers. Ott now at third, Balke at second, and a 2-2 count on Willie Tatum. Shanks comes set, looks at the runner at third base. Here's the 2-2. Hit well into right center field. Bowen's going over, and here goes the right fielder Crissetti over and makes the catch. Runs it down in deep right center field. So Tatum hit it well, but Crissetti retires the side. 1 run, 1 hit, and 2 left after 7. It's Shasta 9, American River 5.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the 8th, 9-5 in favor of the Knights from Shasta College. Christian Lucero, the new pitcher for the Beavers. The 6'1" sophomore out of River City, the right-hander who comes from underneath. It should be URHP, underneath right-handed pitcher for Lucero. We saw him on Tuesday. He will be facing Giacomo Crossetti, then Noah Weaver and Hayes Edens. 6, 7, and 8 for the Knights. They lead at 9-5. Third pitcher for the Beavers is Lucero's first pitch inside for a ball 1-0. Connor Timmons went the first 6, then David Centeno the next one. They've given up 6 hits and the 9 runs. That is hit out toward third. Packard waits for it. Bobbles it a little bit across the diamond. He'll get him by a couple of steps at first base. And Crossetti is retired 5-3. Giacomo 0 for 3 now with a run scored after he was hit by a pitch back in the 6th. That'll bring up Noah Weaver. Grounded to the pitcher, singled and popped a shortstop for Weaver, but that doesn't look like Weaver. That looks like number 4, Hunter Pinkston. He chops it out toward first. Tatum has it. He's going to have to hurry to get over there, but Lucero covers and makes the play at first base. So Pinkston is retired on a good play by Tatum and Lucero, combining 2 outs very quickly, and here's Hayes Edens. Take Hayes Edens a little time to get up to the plate as those first outs were recorded very quickly. So Weaver was 1 for 3 in his time as the DH. Pinkston came on. Hunter, the sophomore out of Shasta High. So here's Edens, who struck out twice and flied to left. He hits the ball slowly out towards shortstop, picked up by Eels, gunned over to first base, and that is a quick top of the 8th. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Shasta 9, American River 5.
American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers. American River College is a top-tier community college sports program that provides student-athletes with the opportunity to thrive both athletically and academically. ARC Athletics is currently ranked 5th in the state and 2nd in Northern California. With over 19 sports programs, our athletes compete with the region's best athletes. Our diverse and dedicated coaching staff helps athletes develop the skills necessary to compete at the next level. Start your community college athletics journey with us. American River College, Sacramento's best athletic program. Go Beavers.
Now back to the action right here on Stones Radio Networks.
Bottom of the 8th, it'll be Anthony Packard, the Nathan Imperial, and Marcus Pabada against Anthony Shanks. Shanks came on in the 7th inning, gave up 1 run on 1 hit, and Packard, making his first appearance at the plate, came on in the 7th inning for Julian Blackwell at third base. Right-handed hitting third baseman out of Colfax High. Swings and misses at the fastball from Shanks, 0-1. Next baseball game on American River College YouTube will be next Thursday. A 1-pitch check swing, and he went, according to the first base umpire, which I politely disagree with. And Stones McCoy with a perfect explanation. The umpire is cold and called a strike, which I totally buy and don't criticize anybody for. Fastball outside for a ball 1-2. We will be at the Hutchison Gym tomorrow for a basketball doubleheader. Women's game at 5:30 and the men to follow at 7:30 against Diablo Valley. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball. So Packard is down on strikes. That'll bring up Aiden Imperial. Next week we've got baseball. Final basketball games will be on February the 17th. That one is on the inside corner. Quickly strike 2, 0-2 on Imperial. So very busy on the American River College YouTube's Athletics YouTube channel. Subscribe and be notified whenever we go live with an event. That one is a breaking ball called strike 3. So 2 quick strikeouts for Shanks here in the 8th inning, and that'll bring up Marcus Bavada, the left fielder. He has a single and scored a run in the 3rd and popped out in the 5th, grounded to first. Back in the 6th, so he is 1 for 3, 3 for 13 on the season with a couple of runs batted in. Left-hand hitting left fielder, waits for the first pitch and swings and pops it up down the left field line. Everybody going after it. And I'm going to assume that nobody got it since Marcus is coming back to pick up the bat again. So 0-1 on Bavada. We're in number 35 for the Beavers. Out of St. Mary's High in Stockton. 6'2" freshman. One of a good group of freshmen that Coach Jay has brought in this calendar year. Here's the 0-1 from Shanks. Bavada takes a fastball, and it is in there for a strike 0-2. So Shanks throwing nothing but strikes in this inning. Quickly ahead of Marcus Bavada, 0-2. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shanks, a 6'5" freshman out of Foothill High School in Palisadro. That's a breaking ball, and it's low. One ball, make that 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shanks from the windup. Chopper right back to him. He loves it, runs the requisite 2/3 of the way over to first, and underhands it to the first baseman. 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. It's Shasta 9, American River 5.
Oh, I love knitting. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job. Personally, the most rewarding part about eating it. It always used to seem like bread was just an afterthought, and which was always kind of disappointing. But now, yes, not only people, foodies, and people eating it, they're expecting better quality, and people notice it, they can see it. Oh, I love knitting. I've been doing it my whole life. Grateful Bread was started because I needed a job.
Now back to the booth right here on Stones Radio Network.
Top of the 9th, it's Shasta 9, American River 5. Christian Lucero out for his 2nd inning of work. Made a short work of the Knights in the 8th, 1-2-3. He'll face A.J. Davies in the top of the order, Shea Bowen and Jude Marquez. Davies has reached on an air, grounded out, and walked. Takes outside for a ball from Christian Lucero, the sophomore out of River City High. Very effective last year for the Beavers. That's chopped out into right field. That's going to be a base hit right down in front of Wyatt Balky out there. He picks it up and guns it in, and Davies has his first hit of the game. He is now 1 for 3. That is the 7th hit for the Knights, and then it'll bring up the top of the order and Shea Bowen, who has reached on an air, walked, reached on another air, and then flied out to left. So he's got 3 runs scored. He's 1 for 3, and now we're going to have a meeting at the mound. And as we have a meeting at the mound, I think it's time, as we're going to get a pitching change, I think it's going to be Josh Heinkel coming in. And it's a good time to talk to Stones McCoy again and get information about an upcoming event, which is very important to the support and well-being of the student-athletes here at American River College. I think it's an event that the American River College Association alumni put on, and they do a great job, and Stones McCoy knows more about it than I do.
Well, it's the crab feed coming up on February 18th, Saturday from 5 to 10 p.m. Right here at the ARC Student Center. And you were right, American River College Athletics Alumni Association putting on the crab feed. So right now, if you're watching at home, pull out your camera on your phone and scan that QR code. It'll take you right where you need to go. You can purchase your tickets, and all those proceeds go to help fund the ARC Athletics here at American River College.
Very good, Stones McCoy. And while we have you here, let's keep you here and then talk about what's upcoming for Stones Radio Network. As we cover the American River College Athletics on the YouTube, we've gone through so many different seasons so far this year, and you and I have been exposed to so many different sports, and you in particular have figured out a way to televise many sports you never thought you'd have to work on.
Absolutely. I never thought I'd televise a soccer game or even a volleyball game, which, in fact, we have one of the great hitters from the volleyball sitting right next to Phantom. Didn't even know that. He didn't even notice that.
I'm so focused on what's happening out there.
But not only that, we were able to do games like water polo this year.
Yeah, water polo. That was odd.
It was odd,
really
but
odd.
Amazing. And,
it was great.
We've really worked everything in so we can get the cameras right for you guys, get all the views that you need, and we provide you one of the best play-by-play voices in the business. So
when's he come back to work?
I don't know. I'm going to call him and see if he can get back here soon.
I'm glad he let me fill in, and that's a fantastic deal. And we've had just a heck of a lot of fun. We want to thank Dr. Stephen Roberson for getting us out here.
Get better soon, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for getting us out here and for letting us experience, as you said, soccer and volleyball. Football was fantastic this year as the team put on a great run and finished near the top of Northern California. Obviously, volleyball getting to the state championship game, and we really enjoyed doing those games, although they were embargoed for a lot of the time. And then we finally released them like they were the Pentagon Papers or something. But it was a lot of fun doing those and getting involved in the different environments, I think, is what we like, the water polo environment and the volleyball environment. So just a fantastic time. All right, Stones McCoy, enough of you. Let's get back to the action. Shea Bowen against Josh Heinkel here. The left-hander out of Intercom is going to go over to first base with his first throw. Willie Tatum gently applies the tag on Davies, and he was called safe. So it was a very dramatic play, but he was safe. Left-hander Heinkel against Shea Bowen. There goes the runner. He's got a great jump. The throw to second by Imperial is a really good one, but not in time. Backed up out there by Druck. So too much of a jump, I think, by Davies on that one as the throw got through. But even if it was handled cleanly, I don't think they would have had a chance at A.J. Davies. He steals second. Bowen, I think that was a called strike. It looked like it was right down the middle, so I will call it a strike. Although we'll wait and see. We'll call it a phantom strike right now. It's not official. Breaking ball is high, so we'll get it is 1-1. There we go. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's one thing I've noticed, that basketball referees only watch the shot clock and baseball umpires only watch the scoreboard to see if they have the count right. Which both things are important, so I don't fault them for that. Fastball, nice looking pitch, a little bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Shea Bowen. Jude Marquez, shortstop on deck, the number 2 hitter for Shasta College up in Redding, California. That's it right back up the middle. Crossed over. What a play by Darren Eels to pull it down and throw it to first base. Going over to cover second, maybe to keep the runner close, and that ball should have been into center field for a base hit. But Eels, with a fine play, retires Bowen at first base. Moving to third is A.J. Davies. And here's Jude Marquez, who was struck out twice, sacrificed, and grounded to second. Beavers bringing the infield in. What a play that was by Eels, with positioning by Eels, as he took away a guaranteed base hit from Bowen. Popped up right side, out of play. 0-1 on Jude Marquez with Drew Reynolds, the big first baseman, on deck. Marquez looking for his first hit of the season, has scored a couple of runs in the opening series against Cosumnes River College. 0-1. Heinkel, the left-hander, delivers. That's chop foul down the right field line, a little bit further down the line into one of those big bushes down there. Not even really a bush. It's just an overgrowth of something, of a bush. It's a tree on its side, okay? 0-2 on Marquez. Don't get so technical. Not Ansel Adams over here. Runner comes down from third, 0-2 pitch, lined into right field. That's a base hit. So Marquez is going to get his first hit of the year. He's going to get an RBI as well. Coming in from third is Davies, and it is now 10-4. And throwing it back to second. He tried to get to second, and he's thrown out at second base. And Beavers kind of came off the field, but it's only 2 outs. So the run scored, Davies scores. Marquez trying to make second was thrown out. He gets credit for the single. He is out at second base, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Drew Reynolds. So 10-4 now. Excuse me. 10-5 now. Fastball's in there for a strike on Reynolds. 10-5, top of the ninth. RBI single by Marquez. Once hit out to left field, going back in left field is Babada. And he's got to move all the way over and make the catch sliding in there. So he ran around that one, surrounded it, and eventually caught it and retired Reynolds. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left at the end of 8.5. It's Shasta 10, American River 5.
Shall we begin?
Safety first.
I think we're ready to rock. That is so 1940s.
Now back to the Phantom right here on Stone's Radio Networks.
Hey, that's me. Bottom of the ninth, Beaver Field here on the campus of American River College in lovely Sacramento, and chilly Sacramento, I will say, as I turn to look at Stones McCoy, who's supposed to be manning the cameras. He is jumping up and down and flapping his hands trying to get warm. Here's Ryland Druck. He'll be followed by Darren Eels and then Dominic Ott against Andrew Shanks in the bottom of the ninth inning, 10-5 in favor of the Knights. Druck is bunt single, popped up, grounded out, and struck out. So he's 1 for 4. Takes a ball in there for a strike. So 1-1. Druck, the freshman out of Roseville, against Andrew Shanks. Fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Druck at 5'8", and Shanks at 6'5". Kind of a matchup problem, if you will. Eels to follow. Check swing did not go. Ball gets away from the catcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, a Bulldogs might like to run down. Yeah, that's the first Bulldog I think we've seen. Yeah. Okay, it's on the list. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. So Druck is out to open the bottom of the ninth. That brings up Darren Eels. He has a flied out twice, singled, and then reached on an error after striking out. Scored 1 run today, has 1 hit. Second run scored of the season, and Eels up here trying to get something started for the Beavers here in the bottom of the ninth. Takes the first pitch in there for a call strike on 1. Shanks, 2 innings pitched so far. It's given up 1 run on 1 hit. Struck out 4. That's one a little bit high for a ball, 1-1. Dominic Ott to follow. Swing and a miss by Darren Eels, freshman out of Bear Creek High in Stockton. Going to take a little timeout to readjust the batting gloves, think things over, step back in against Andrew Shanks. Breaking ball, call strike 3. So that's 4 strikeouts in the last 5 batters for Andrew Shanks, and 1 out left for the Beavers, and that out right now is Dominic Ott, who has popped out, doubled, flied out, and walked. So he is 1 for 3, has scored a run today. Leads the Beavers with 4 RBIs on the season. Takes the first pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. Dominic, the sophomore center fielder out of Wood Creek High in Roseville, against Andrew Shanks. Fouls that one back to the screen, evens the count at 1-1. Jake Morrell waiting on deck, hoping to get another chance here today. Jake is 2 for 3. The freshman designated hitter out of Whitney waits his turn as Ott back up to the plate with a 1-1 count. Shanks from the windup. Popped up. Right side coming in, the right fielder, Crosetti, going out the second baseman. Crosetti makes the catch, and that is the ball game. Nothing across for the Beavers in the ninth. Final score, Shasta 10, American River College 5. Just a reminder, our next time out on Beaver Field will be next Thursday when the Beavers return to action. We will be in action on the YouTube tomorrow night, a basketball doubleheader. Women's game at 5:30, men's game at 7:30 as the Beavers take on Diablo Valley College. Thank you for watching American River College Athletics on YouTube, presented by the Stones Radio Networks, and we will talk to you next time.
Woo!